MSMF Radio. Music. One language. Hey there, and welcome back. This is Curl Jones with MSMF Radio. Thank you so much for tuning into our Artist Stories radio series. In the studio with us today, we have Andrew Allen and Nicholas Parr of the wonderfully talented band Sing for Glenn.
Hey.
Hey. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Now, here at MSMF Radio, we are all about loving on our musicians from Mississippi. If you think about it, so many artists have come out of this great state, from rock and rollers, rappers, gospel musicians, young and old, you name it. Every one of them has touched on the notion that being from the South has helped them find their sound. Tell me about where you guys grew up and how it helped you find your sound.
Well, from Olive Branch, Mississippi. That's pretty much where I grew up at.
Mm-hmm.
Sound-wise, I've listened to a lot of Need to Breathe and Jason Mraz, some Drew Holcomb, some Leonard Skinner, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Jimi Hendrix album.
Hey, love Jimmy.
Yeah. Listened to it a few times. Like, this is pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, Olive Branch is kind of a smallish town. How'd you like that?
It's smaller than the surrounding towns. It kind of feels big when you're in it, though, if that's all you grew up in. Then you drive into Memphis, and the people are crazy. They drive like maniacs. I'm like, I can live with this.
You're right.
Tests my skills. I'm driving down the road, and someone does something stupid,
I like that.
Gotta.
And how about you? Were you raised in Olive Branch, too?
I've lived there all my life. Yeah. There's like 5,000 people there when I was, younger. So it's gotten a lot bigger. But I mean, being from the South, you're surrounded by so much more musical culture than especially of the blues and the R&B and the soul type stuff. And when I meet musicians from other places, a lot of times they don't have that just go with the flow type soul R&B type stuff. So that's helped me in my bass playing a lot.
Oh, I love that. So you would definitely say small town living kind of helped you find your way.
Originally, it's not that small of a town anymore. There's like 30,000 people there.
Oh, look at that. Blowing up on us, right?
5th fastest growing city in the United States.
It's beautiful. I love it up there. Well, you guys seem so humble and grounded. Here you are, young, handsome fellas trying to navigate the rough waters of the music industry. That can be tough without a support system. Tell me about your support system. Is it family, friends, faith?
It's a lot of all of them. Family's always been really supportive about music and trying to give us all the opportunities we have, and we grew up playing in church together, so that's kind of what got us started originally playing what we do and how we do it. So it's been a combination of all of them, and they've all been really helpful towards us.
That's good. Tell me about your church and your church family.
I mean, it's our pastor's wife, pastor's renowned Methodist, gave us the opportunity. They wanted to start a church band. They never had one, and so they pulled me in, and then they pulled Nick in about a year later.
Yep.
To play guitar. And so
Scott, he's pretty good at guitar too. He likes to finger pick.
Oh, yeah.
Learned a lot from him with guitar stuff. Because I used to hit the strings really hard, and then he sat me down in a corner for like an hour and told me to fix it.
Really? They learn fast, huh?
That was an embarrassing practice, but it was good for me. I liked it.
That's good. That's amazing. So, same with you here. Friends, family, faith?
Family and friends, and that's been really good. I know we played at there's Other One's Coffee Bar in Memphis. We played there, and one of my old friends from high school came out to see it with his girlfriend. They enjoyed it. So that was nice. I enjoyed seeing them out there because I hadn't seen them for a while. So stuff like that. It's nice.
How about your family? Tell me about the role your parents play in, promoting such young, talented musicians.
He does he put together this whole press packet and all these different things. He spends a whole lot of time on it, which is good because I'm at school and then I'm trying to think about like 3 different things at once, so he kind of keeps that all together. My mom, she shows up. She tries to be the screaming fan, but
Yay for mom and dad, right?
yeah, my brother, he's funny. He thinks he's funny at least. But he's fun to have around.
Mm-hmm.
He's really quick to point out when I do something wrong, though. He's a little brother, so that's what he likes to do, which helps me, and then I can improve. I'm like, all right, well, I guess, because they're usually good pointers. Sometimes he's just trying to be a jerk and troll me, but, you know.
So how do you manage it all? I mean, you mentioned school and work. You know, most musicians, they have this dream where I'm just going to make it big. I'm going to walk into the record label and they're going to sign me, but they don't realize all the work, school, life.
Yeah.
How do you manage all that?
I mean, I'm pretty good about not, you know, I'm going to get really big, all of us. Like, I'm along for however the ride goes and all that stuff. You know, I just enjoy it. Get to play this small place here, this place here, you know, paid or not. I'm just having fun, so.
Well, good for you. That's a good attitude to have. It'll take you far, really well.
Hope so.
Good for you. And tell me about you. How do you juggle it all? Work and school.
One day at a time. It's a balancing act. You have to really want to be able to do it. I mean, there's nights you have to stay up learning stuff for a gig that the next day that you haven't had time to learn because you've been at work. It's
right.
You just have to take it one step at a time.
Sacrifices. Absolutely. Tell me about the name of your band, Sing for Glenn. What's up with the chuckles?
Well, goes back to one of our friends, Chris Burris. If you're listening, Chris, I love you. But we were in a band practice for our old church band back probably a couple years ago, maybe 2.5 years or so. And I was really bad at the time about singing really soft. And so he said, you know, you have to sing like you're singing for Glenn, because Glenn is this guy in our church who doesn't hear very well. So he's like, you have to sing loud so Glenn can hear you. And like a year later, when he said it, I'm like, I'm making that into a band name, Chris.
Really?
I'm making that into a band name because I was like, Sing for Glenn. That sounds interesting. So then, you know, like a year later, we're like, well, let's do this. What are we going to call ourselves? Sing for Glenn.
That is the best name of a band, I swear. That is so
So I guess we have Glenn to thank for that one. So thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn. Round of applause for Glenn. Okay, so as singers and songwriters, you guys have been singing. You sing at gigs. You've been singing at church. Tell me about your method for songwriting. Do you prefer to have a melody in mind before you come up with lyrics, or do you like to build a melody around your lyrical content? Tell me about your songwriting process.
It's really not so much of a process. Like in all of my stuff, it tends to just start out with the words. Like I'll write down something on paper, and then like I have some stuff in my little book that's just sitting there. Like I can't think of what to put it to, but I've got, you know, like a backlog of just all these different words and lyrics that I'm trying to put to something. But then, you know, sometimes like occasionally that one will come out that I'm like, that's the sound I want for it, and then I have to go from there. Like I'm not really good at sitting down and, oh, I have this melody in mind, now I need to put words to it. So I envy the people that are really good at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm not sure they probably envy you.
Oh, back and forth, and we should work together that way.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Cooperation. You know.
So how about you? Do you like to sit quietly and focus your senses on creating meaningful music, or do you just like a impromptu, unstructured thing?
It usually ends up I listen to what he gives me about 2 times, and then I try to make it interesting.
Try to make it interesting? You trying to say he's uninteresting?
I'm just saying, chords sometimes get, you gotta add something else.
I tend to do things off the wall, like if there's I'm fine with the bass solos and all this stuff, and so he has to.
Yeah, he gives me a lot of freedom, so.
Yeah, just go with this.
I can tell you guys have a great working relationship. But speaking of bass solos, I was listening to some of your music last night, and I love, like times 29, Perfect Man. Every woman is in search of the perfect man, right? And here we have Sing for Glenn performing their single, Perfect Man.
If I begin to lose my mind, will you still love me all the time? If you find me up a wall Will you help me down or watch me fall? If I begin to lose my mind, will you still love me all the time? If you find me up a wall, will you help me down or watch me fall? 'Cause I wanna be your Superman. You're everything the best I can. I wanna be the one who carries you. I wanna be your perfect man. If I crash out of the sky, will you catch me gently and let me cry? If I need a hand to hold, will you let me close and make me home? If I crash out of the sky, will you catch me gently and let me cry? If I need a hand to hold, will you let me close and make me whole? 'Cause I wanna be your Superman. You're everything the best I can. 'Cause I wanna be the one who carries you. I wanna be your perfect man. Your perfect man.
Well, both of you play beautifully. Tell me about the instruments you play and how you learn to play.
I usually just play bass. I started playing bass sophomore year of high school, 2007-ish, I think is when that was. High school marching band, and then I played in the high school jazz band, and again in the marching band, and after I left high school, I went to Northwest as a music major.
Okay.
Not for bass, for a different instrument.
What instrument?
Trombone.
Okay.
And then I played in the jazz band there, and it just snowballed and developed from there.
I love it. So you just branched out where you felt like the spirit moved you.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. How about you, Nicholas?
I picked up the guitar in the middle school. It was kind of just a thing I had, or like I'd play it with it a few times, pick up like a song or two, but then started playing it really kind of seriously in sophomore year of high school was when they took me on for the church band. So I had like an old Fender acoustic. That was it was fun to play on. It really was a nice little guitar to start off on. And I've moved up now. I've got like this it's like an Maton Messiah, like Maton, like not me, Australian guitar because I like Tommy Manuel.
MSMF radio. Okay.
So
One language.
I'm like, I try to be like him, but I'm not that good. He's pretty awesome.
Well, see, there we are again, back to that really good working relationship. That's what I love to hear. So, again, back to listening to your music. I noticed that when I listen to your music, you guys have, like, a certain level of what I like to call chillness.
Thank
And
you.
most people, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. And most people need other things in big air quotations to achieve that level of chillness. But I get it from music. I've always been that way. You have a very real kind of relatable transparency to your music. Kind of like the feeling when I get when I listen to Jason Mraz, Amos Lee, and Jack Johnson. Do you draw inspiration from them, and where do you get your inspiration as musicians?
Well, funny you said Jason Mraz is. It's the CD that's actually in my little radio player in the car right now.
Mm-hmm.
And people tell me I do things kind of like just tendencies and like kind of choices I'll make in a song that are kind of similar to the ones that Jason Mraz does in his music. So
I really like him.
I love it. He does a story. He's got Storytellers out from like last year. The long hair, and like he talks and like he's so like chill, like he's like in his little zen space all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's someone to be like.
I like him. I was looking at
so relaxed.
yeah, he is very, like I say, I call it chillness. Like you just
Exactly.
when you're ready to kind of just shed the skin of the world, put on some Jack Johnson and Jason Mraz, you just wash all the worries away. How about you?
Exactly.
Where do you get your inspiration from? What
As-
musicians?
My music, or there's a bunch of bass players I follow. I listen to way more jazz fusion type stuff than he does. My musical tastes are a little further out there, but I just take the attitude if I'm not gonna have fun doing it, there's no point. So I might as well make it fun and chill while I can. So
That's right. And a lot of people, I think that's where they stumble. They lose the fun, you know.
if it's not fun, it's not worth it. So
Amen to that. Well, tell me about your latest project. What are you working on right now?
Well, we've got that thing March 1st in Covington.
And where are you going to be at exactly in Covington?
It's called The Coffee in the Attic. It's in the Covington, their downtown square.
Okay.
So
Be sure to check them out, right?
they have great sandwiches and coffee.
Really?
Had a ham sandwich there when I wanted to go see them like last month. It's like, this is delicious, and they're hot chocolate. I'm more hot chocolate than I am coffee, so I'm like, you got hot chocolate and sandwiches, I'm good.
Really? But
That's
the
where
big
I'm at.
Well, yeah, but the big question is with the hot chocolate is, are there marshmallows involved in that hot chocolate?
No, they had the whipped cream on it though. I'm like,
You steal
Yes.
my heart, Nicholas.
so
So you're performing right now, and that can be an essential part of honing your craft as an artist. Tell me about Tell me about performing live, and do you get jitters? You know, you want to jump in?
I only really ever get nervous when I'm playing in church. So
Really?
yeah, I know it's weird. It's opposite.
Why?
I guess it's because I have to see the same people every week, so I know if I screw up, they're gonna remember it. But when I'm playing, usually when I'm playing in front of people, I don't get nervous or jittery because I take Victor Wooten's one of my influences, and he takes the attitude of when I'm playing, I'm gonna try my hardest to give them what they want. That way, I mean, it's that way. That way they get the experience they want. They paid to come see you, or they're coming to see you. You need
Right.
to give them what they want. So I just take that attitude and do what I do.
And that helps you deal with the nervousness, any nervousness. How about you, Nicholas? Do you have any special ways you deal with any nervousness you might have?
yeah. I mean, you get a little I get a little bit of nervousness, like little butterflies or something. I'm like, I go out once I get up there and start the first song, and those kind of go away, and just kind of take the attitude of we're gonna do what we do. So I hope you like it.
Well, you do it very well.
I mean, we can't do anything other than what we do. So
And here's Sing for Glenn doing what they do best, performing their song, Brother.
2, 3, 4.
you're strong no matter what. You're not alone. You'll always have a hand to hold should you need me. You say you're not so beautiful. I say you're wrong. You're the best I know. No matter what, you're not alone should you need me. If you're ever having trouble, let me come and be your brother. Do not cower in your darkest, deepest hours. Let me come and be your brother. You say you're not as good at things I tell you. If you would just believe, you will always have a place to be should you need me. You say you're not as bright as me. I say you shine remarkably. You will always have a fan in me should you need me. If you're ever having trouble, let me come and be your brother. Do not cower in your darkest, deepest hours. Let me come and be your brother. Do not cower in your darkest, deepest hours. Let me come and be your brother. I need to know. I'll always be your friend. Do not cower in your darkest, deepest hours. Let me come and be your brother. Do not cower in your darkest, deepest hours. Let me come and be your brother. Let me come and be your brother.
Well, you do a good job at that. Great job. Another thing, speaking of, performing, and that's a facet of being an artist. Another facet of being an artist is self-promotion. A lot of artists, they once they have the record done, there's this big fat now what in the room. How do you promote yourselves? How do you let the world know that, hey, here we are? What do you guys do to promote yourselves?
Mostly just Facebook. I mean, it's the easiest way. Well, it's not necessarily easy, but it's the fastest way to reach a wide variety of people.
That's true. Do you get a lot of responses and reception and feedback from your music on Facebook?
We get a little bit. We're not a big band, so there's not a lot of people that the people that know us like us, and we hope they.
Yeah, we got got the Facebook, and we got set up on Twitter, and we got a Reverb Nation thing going. So
Very good.
and we were just out, like I said, we're doing that Covington thing. So we were out there yesterday, putting up posters in all the different shops.
Mm-hmm.
So they had some cool antique shops. Like one of them had like downstairs. Didn't go anywhere though. But
Look at you. We have a
tease.
an antique fan over here. I like that. So, speaking of the internet, a lot of people, musicians, creatives, they notice that other people are often more critical online than they are in person. How do you deal with any criticism that you might receive, or just that kind of that haterade? You know, I'm sure you've heard that term. How do you deal with haters?
Stop drinking the haterade.
Yeah.
Start drinking the bubble tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with being from a small town that has grown to be a larger town. You know, you hear that saying that it's hard to kind of branch out in your small town because everyone knows you as Andrew and Nicholas.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I do what I do, and if they don't like it, then they don't like it. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more you can do about it. If they're not going to be receptive to how you're doing stuff, then there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
I like that relaxed attitude about that.
I mean, people that don't like you, they're just not going to like you. So, go off and do what you do.
Okay. Well, I know we talked about Facebook and briefly about Reverb Nation. Where can we find your music? If you wanted to.
Reverb Nation pages. Reverb Nation, Sing for Glenn. So, just like reverbnation.com/singforglenn. It's one word.
And we also have a YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
we got some stuff on YouTube.
You do. Sing for Glenn on YouTube.
Sing for Glenn or SFG Music. Type in Sing for Glenn, brother or something, and it'll pop up.
Okay. Very good. So, why do you guys want to be featured on MSMF Radio?
I think the exposure is great. And I think it's great helping local musicians, Mississippi musicians that not a lot of people have heard of, get a start.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's what we aim to do.
It's just like he said, and then this is different for us, so I'm having a blast. I mean, kind of sitting here a little weird, but I'm like, this is fun because I have never done something like this before. So just the chance to get out here and do this, exposure, all that stuff, and promote the radio. More people listen to it. Get some more people other than just us come up in here and get them exposed too. It's all a big lifting everyone up.
That's right.
Like the globe on Hercules when he was lifting them for Olympic people and stuff. Olympics are going on right now. It's on my mind.
Yeah, go Sochi. I know, that's right. Well, this has been fun. I want to thank Sing for Glenn for spending this afternoon with me. I've really enjoyed getting to know you both. I really have, and your family is just beautiful. I want to thank our fans as well for supporting MSMF Radio. Love Mississippi, love music. It's just that simple. This is Curl Jones, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. MSMF Radio. Music. One language.